She's still watching you, quiet, distant, silent. But make no mistake, she hasn't let go. And the reason behind her silence, it has nothing to do with love and everything to do with control. This is the brutal truth most men never hear. But you will. Comment below. I control my emotions, not her. Let's begin. 1. She watches you to feel powerful without risking rejection. She checks your story, she scrolls through your page, she lingers on old photos, but she says absolutely nothing. Why? Because watching gives her a feeling of control without taking the risk of vulnerability. If she texts, if she calls, she opens the door to rejection. But if she silently observes from the shadows, she gets to maintain an illusion of strength. No risk, no ego bruised, no reality check. See, most men assume that when a woman doesn't reach out, she's moved on. Wrong. She hasn't moved on. She's moved tactically. She's watching to see if you'll break first, if you'll react, if you'll validate her decision to walk away. It's not love, it's leverage. She needs to know she still lives rent-free in your mind, that you still check her stories, that you still accidentally like one of her posts. It's all part of the silent game she's playing. And what's worse, she convinces herself that she's the one in control, even though it's you she's thinking about. Every notification she doesn't get from you haunts her. Every moment you don't reach out chips away at her certainty. But if you give in, even just once, if you break the silence, she wins. And she resets the game where you chase and she pulls back again. She watches to feed her ego, not her heart. And as long as you feed it back by watching her too, the cycle never ends. 2. Her silence is a weapon, not a wound. You might think she's staying quiet because she's confused. That maybe she's scared to reach out. That maybe she's healing. That maybe she just needs time. No, brother. Her silence is not a result of pain. It's a carefully calculated move to maintain power. Women know that men crumble in silence. They know men overthink. They know silence breeds anxiety. So they weaponize it. While you sit wondering why she hasn't messaged you, she's tracking your reactions. She's checking if you viewed her story. She's noting whether you text first. She's watching if your attention shifts. And if it does, that's when she'll reinsert herself, only to see if she can still manipulate the outcome. You see, for many women, silence is a way to assert dominance. She knows you care. She just wants to know if she can still control that care. That's why she doesn't block you. She doesn't delete your number. She doesn't burn the bridge. She just goes quiet. It's not the end, it's the bait. And unless you understand this psychological warfare, you'll keep losing to a woman who already made her move weeks ago when she chose silence over sincerity. The only way to win, do nothing. Let her drown in her own game, because when you refuse to respond to silence with desperation, you take back the power. 3. She wants to be watched just as much as she watches you. This is the part most men overlook. You think she's the observer, that she's the one quietly missing you. But here's the paradox. She's not just watching you. She wants you to watch her. Every post she uploads, every quote about growth or healing, it's curated. She knows you'll see it. She's hoping you'll see it. Because just like she stalks your online presence, she desperately needs to feel that you're still monitoring hers. It's not love, it's ego. She wants to be seen, admired, missed from a distance. Because in her mind, if you're still watching, she still matters. It's why women rarely go fully silent. They go quiet, strategically, enough to create mystery, but not so much that you forget about them. So she leaves traces, likes your comment, posts a throwback, shares a song lyric that only you would recognize, and the moment you bite, she wins. She knows you're still emotionally invested, and once she's sure of that, she vanishes again. This cycle isn't affection, it's validation addiction. She needs to know she still holds emotional currency in your mind. And if you give it to her freely, she'll keep you in emotional purgatory, where you chase and she plays ghost. But the moment you stop watching her, the moment she no longer feels your presence on her feed, that's when the panic sets in. That's when she starts to wonder, because now the mirror has flipped, and suddenly she's the one being ignored. 4. Your silence speaks louder than any message. Let's get one thing straight. There is nothing more powerful than a man who chooses silence over validation. You think reaching out to explain yourself shows maturity. You think one last heartfelt message might make her realize what she lost. You think showing that you care will inspire her to come back. Wrong. She's not waiting to be convinced. She's not looking for closure. She's waiting to see if you break first, because the one who breaks first loses. She expects you to text. She expects you to defend yourself. She expects you to validate her decision by still chasing her after she's gone. But when you say nothing, when you disappear from her world without warning, that silence haunts her. She can explain anger. She can rationalize a breakup, but she can't predict detachment. That's the danger of your silence. It turns you into a mystery. Now she's the one overanalyzing. Now she's replaying the last message you sent, wondering why it ended there. Now she's reading into every picture you post, trying to figure out if you've moved on. Now she's checking your feed to see if there's a new woman in your life. And she won't admit any of it. She won't tell her friends. She won't text you. But trust me, she feels it. This is the Stoic mindset at its peak. You're not reacting emotionally. You're not explaining your pain. You're letting her wonder, because mystery creates value, and the unknown is what drives her crazy. So remember this: the man who talks less is remembered more. The man who explains nothing leaves a deeper mark. And the man who vanishes without drama becomes the ghost she can't forget. 5. If she really wanted you, she would be there. Let's stop pretending. If a woman truly wanted to be in your life, she would be. She wouldn't be silent. She wouldn't be lurking. She wouldn't be relying on cryptic posts or strategic silence. She'd show up. Women are emotional creatures, but when they care, they become very clear. They text, they call, they show up at your door if necessary. But if she's just watching, saying nothing, it's not love, it's convenience. She wants the option of you, not the reality of you. She wants to keep you on a leash in case her other options don't work out. And most men make the mistake of accepting this role, like a backup quarterback waiting for his chance. But here's the truth. You are not a placeholder. You are not a second option. You are not a maybe someday. You are a man with purpose, value, and boundaries. The day you stop mistaking silence for potential is the day you reclaim your power. If she cared, she'd act. If she valued you, she wouldn't risk losing you. So take her silence for what it is, not a mystery, not a sign, not a test, but a decision. Let her go. 6. She's hoping you'll reach out first, so she doesn't have to. Her pride is louder than her feelings. That's why she won't make the first move. She wants to hear from you. She wants to know you still care. She wants to see if you're still attached, but she refuses to initiate it. Because in her world, whoever reaches out first loses the power dynamic. This is not about love. It's about ego. She wants reassurance without vulnerability. So she watches silently, hoping you break. And if you do, she gets her confirmation. Not that you love her, but that she still owns space in your head. Now she doesn't need to come back, because she already knows you're still emotionally hers. That's why not reaching out is the ultimate test of strength. Every second you stay silent makes her more anxious. Every day you stay quiet makes her regret the breakup more. Every moment you resist reacting makes you more powerful in her mind. She'll test the waters. She'll post something emotional. She'll upload that photo that she knows will get your attention. But it's bait. If you bite, she knows she still controls you. Resist. Because your silence isn't just self-respect, it's a mirror. It forces her to confront the consequences of her choices. And when she finally realizes you're not coming back, that's when she'll reach out. Not because she missed you, but because she lost control. 7. She keeps you around for emotional insurance. Ever notice how she doesn't block you? She doesn't cut you off. She doesn't fully let you go. That's not kindness. That's strategy. Your emotional insurance. She's not ready to come back, but she's not ready to lose you either. So she keeps the door slightly open, not wide enough to let you back in, but just enough so you don't forget she exists. She wants to have you without choosing you, and many men fall for this trap. They think, she's watching me, so maybe she still cares. But she's only watching to keep tabs, to make sure you haven't moved on yet. Because once you move on, once she sees another woman in your life, once you go silent and stay silent, that emotional insurance policy expires. That's when the fear hits. That's when she realizes she gambled and lost. So ask yourself, are you okay being her backup plan? Or will you become the man she can never have again? Because the second you act like an option, you lose the chance to ever be the priority. 8. She's testing your emotional discipline. A woman's silence is often a test, not of love, but of your emotional strength. She wants to see if you'll crack, if you'll beg, if you'll spiral, if you'll break your own dignity for the chance to feel close to her again. And most men fail this test. They reach out. They send the long message. They explain themselves. They try to negotiate respect. But a high-value man, he doesn't flinch, because he knows emotional control is power. She wants to know if you can live without her. She wants to see if you'll stay grounded, if you'll keep working, if you'll keep building yourself without her attention. And when you do, when you show that her silence doesn't disturb your peace, she starts to question everything. Because now you are the mystery. Now you are the one she can't read. Now she doesn't know if she still has you. And that shift in emotional balance, that's when attraction is reignited, not through words, but through stoic discipline. 9. The more you chase, the less. She feels attraction is not built through pursuit. It's built through presence and detachment. When you chase a woman who's pulled away, you validate her choice to leave. You tell her she's right for walking away because now you're begging to be let back in. And the more she sees you chasing, the less she feels anything at all. Because in her mind, if you're this desperate to get her back, you must not be that valuable. A man of value doesn't chase. He attracts, he works, he builds, he moves on. And women feel that shift deeply. When you stop trying to prove your worth to her, she begins to remember it. Because the moment you stop running after her validation, she starts running toward your presence again. 10. The man who disappears is the one she remembers forever. It's not the man who sends the last message she remembers. It's the man who sends none. It's not the man who tries to fix it she regrets losing. It's the man who walked away with dignity, without explanation. When you vanish from her life completely, without chaos, without bitterness, without chasing, you become unforgettable. You become the what-if that haunts her, the standard no one else meets, the man she remembers in silence because you left in silence. Not because you were weak, but because you were done. That is Stoicism. That is power. That is what makes you the man she watches, but never hears from again. And trust me, nothing drives her more insane than that. So now you know. She's not silent because she forgot you. She's silent because she wants to see if you'll forget yourself. She wants control, not connection, power, not partnership. But the moment you stop watching back, the moment you stop caring more than she does, that's when the shift happens. That's when she starts feeling the loss, and that's when you win. Remember this: the strongest move a man can make is to do nothing. Now, if you felt that, if this video opened your eyes, drop a comment below. I control my emotions, not her. Subscribe to Behavior Insight right now for weekly videos on Stoicism, female psychology, and self-mastery. Because the more you understand her mind, the less power she has over yours. Stay stoic, stay focused, stay in control. See you in the next video.